they have finally done it. After years of it being said that it could never work, that it is impossible, that it would be way too laggy, BeamNG has finally received terrain deformation in the form of a mod. And I'm not talking about those J-beam based implementations that we've seen up until now. I'm talking about real, actual ground-based terrain deformation. Let me show it to you. Alright, so I've loaded up derby arenas here, and I've picked a SnowRunner-esque vehicle. Just as a quick reference, we can see that the ground is relatively flat to start with. Now, I'm going to hit my initialized terrain key binding, and then Control R to fully reload my vehicle. And, as you can see, nothing has changed. But, watch what happens as I start driving. Check that out. As I slip my wheels in the mud, the ground beneath me gets pushed downwards. That is huge, and completely changes the dynamic of driving on loose surfaces in BeamNG. Look at this. If I just spin my wheels in place, I'm going to dig deep into the mud and get stuck. So, just like real life, I have to slowly get moving if I don't want to get stuck in mud. Whereas normally in BeamNG, the more you floor it, the faster you'll go. Now, as cool as this is, one issue that I have found with it is that if you spin your wheels, then pause the game, you burrow a hole down to the center of the earth. But that problem is fixed in the updated version. I've now swapped over to the updated mod, and, as you can see, I have a UI, and I can do this. Okay, you can also see that I'm currently in the front-end loader. This is because, in this version, after you swap out the bucket for the BBC one, which, surprisingly, is still yellow and not any bigger, you will be able to dig. Now, sure, you can't actually scoop up the dirt, as that would require modding in many more things to do so, but you can still mess up the dirt track if you want. Or even add a jump to the figure 8 oval. And yes, if you drive on the dirt track for long enough, you will start to deform the ramps and landing zones, while also leaving grooves and washboard in areas where you drove through the most. You have absolutely no idea how cool I think all of this is. Like, this in any game would be amazing. Like, I like SnowRunner because of that, but unlike SnowRunner, the entire map is deformable. And the fact that there's long-term slow deformation effects, like that which you can only see after dozens and dozens of laps, is just really, really cool. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Since this mod is practically brand new, and really is the first of its type in terms of implementation, it is a tad rough around the edges. If you drive too fast, you just end up making washboard instead of tire grooves. And the ground physics only apply once the terrain stops deforming. You may also have noticed that I've only been on derby arenas this whole time. That is because this is really the only map that it works best on. The reason for that being is because of the square size. If you're curious what that is, you can check it out by pressing F11 to open up the map editor, then clicking on the terrain. In derby arenas, the square size is actually only 30 centimeters instead of the much more standard 1 meter. If the square size is bigger than 30 centimeters, the mod will still try to work, but the terrain deformation size becomes too big for the effect to be super believable. And even at 30 centimeters, it seems a little bit big for some of the smaller cars in game. Because most vanilla maps have a square size of 1 meter, this means that as of now, you can't really use it in Johnson Valley or East Coast like you might be hoping to. Though, Broken Brain Cells is planning to see if he can mod in a workaround for that in due time. And speaking of Broken Brain Cells, I did reach out to him to see how he got the mod to work and what his plans for future versions are. He said, the mod works by looking at the wheel data, checking to see if they are contacting the ground, what material the wheels are on, and how fast they are slipping, to then deform the terrain grid. It also uses a raycast for the bucket loader, and he was wanting to make a bulldozer mod, but that ended up running into some issues. As for what he has planned to do next for the mod, here is his list. Tire weight as a parameter for deformation, paint materials under layers, add more smoothing to the ground nodes, remove grass and rock materials when digging, add a measurement system, possible dynamic mud and dirt for vehicles, which would be really cool. allowing the dirt to be scooped up and piled onto vehicles, which would also be really cool, multiplayer support, and possibly even more. Though it is important to note that all of these are still plans, not promises, so nothing is guaranteed. That being said, I am eagerly looking forward to future versions of this mod, because even as is, it is pretty awesome and super fun to play around with. As for how you can get the mod to work, once you have it downloaded from the repo, or you have the updated version, depending on which one you have, you hit the initialize terrain key binding, which you will have to configure yourself first, or on the new version, pull up the UI app and click the button there. Once you do that, Control R to reload your vehicle and it should just start working then and there. If you want to use the front end loader, make sure to equip the correct bucket, and then you may also have to hit Control R after doing so to force it to work. And sometimes if you change vehicles, you may have to again hit Control R to make the mod start working. And once more, it really only works on derby arenas for now. Plus, it can make your game lag like crazy on other maps where it doesn't really seem to do much to begin with. The last thing I wanted to point out is the fact that Broken Brain Cells wanted me to let you guys know that he is not a great programmer, and the mod is kind of janky. So you can probably already tell, but I'm pretty excited for this mod. Just think about all the possibilities that this mod opens up. Racing on dirt becomes different because the washboard will slow you down. The SnowRunner map remakes could actually have deformable mud, and possibly in the future, we might even be able to load up trucks and dump them properly, just like this game I used to play back on the PS1. I don't think I can express my enthusiasm for this mod enough. I will and have literally sat here for an hour or more at a time, just driving the trophy truck around this dirt track, seeing how it deforms over time. Like, this is actually so cool, guys. But anyway, sorry, back on track. That was just a quick little showcase of this new terrain deformation mod. It may be a tad rough around the edges, but the fact that it is here at all is really cool. Have you guys had a chance to use this mod yet? Or plan on doing so now that you've seen it here? Let me know in the comments below. It goes without saying again, but I'm really excited to see where the mod goes. Because like the traffic mod and multiplayer mod, it opens up another realm of possibilities to explore in BeamNG, and I am all for that. So we will see where this new mod takes BeamNG. Maybe people will add new game modes to take advantage of it, like with multiplayer. Or maybe the devs will work on their own implementation, kind of like with the traffic mod. But until then, we can only wait and see. Thank you guys for watching this BeamNG mod showcase. This has been Akimbo, and I'm signing off.